Hello. I'm a second early, so I'll give you guys an extra minute to get in here. Hey guys. Hopefully everybody's having a relatively sunny day. I know it's been rainy here, which is fine, but I'm ready for some sunshine. Maybe it's getting warmer where you are. Maybe it's getting too hot. It will be that way in Georgia before long. I like it that way, though. I don't like the cold. You guys let me know if you can see and hear me okay in the chat, and we'll get started. I'll give another couple of minutes. Hello. Hello, Justin. I'm missing you as my webinar co-host, just saying. Hey, guys. All right. Thank you very much. Glad everybody can hear me. Thank you. I'm going to do some screen sharing today. Well, let me know if you can see that during that part as well, but should be smooth sailing. We're going to talk about AdvancePay today. If you guys are new to AdvancePay, this is a good one because it is crucial. It is, it'll boost you to the next level if you're not already using it. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get started. For those of you who do not know, my name is Stevie. I am a studio success manager here at PhotoDay. Just a rule of thumb, if you guys want to ask questions, I will answer all of them. Just make sure you put questions specifically in the Q&A section of the chat so that I can get to them at the end and they're all organized. Feel free to chatter up in the chat. I love seeing all the engagement, so don't hesitate to do that, but I'll answer questions at the end. If I don't do that, then I bounce around like a squirrel on different topics, even though I want to answer questions. That's the fun part of it for me. So, and we'll also have some people in the chat as well, answering as they can, some of our PhotoDay team members. So thank you guys for helping out in the chat. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about boosting your sales with AdvancePay. If you guys are just getting started, this is going to be a great one where you can learn all about what AdvancePay is, the different ways you can use it, and the benefits. If you are already using PhotoDay and you're already using AdvancePay, there's going to be some tips in here. If you're wondering how it can work for specific jobs, I'll be going over different use cases depending on the type of job you're doing. And if you're not using it, I recommend it. If you're using AdvancePay and you're ready to jump into the next steps, this will help you figure out your plan of action. So yeah. All right, let's get started. Okay, so as a business owner, of course, making high sales is probably y'all's top priority. I know y'all are photographers, creatives, and that's a huge part as well. But at the end of the day, you got to make the money to buy all the awesome equipment and, keep going, keep getting better. So that is our goal as well for you here at PhotoDay, because we only make money when you make money. So I would say selling online when you're just getting started can be tough. It's a change up for both you and your customers. There's a lot that goes into getting people used to it. Part of it is not making, if you're coming from paper order forms, for instance, and you're used to getting prepaid forms handed to you before you photograph each subject, it can be a lot to, jump to shooting everybody on speculation and then, making the sales after pictures are ready. So AdvancePay can really help with that. Your sales can be maximized when you're selling images online. I mean, I see it happen all the time. You make larger sales, you make more sales, you're able to take on more business, but it does start with, learning the online platform that you're using and learning all the tools that are available for you and creating a strong strategy to make that happen. So, we have a ton of tools that'll help you increase your sales. We have a ton of amazing features and resources that will help make selling online a success. Our team has done a ton of work to analyze, what goes into the day-to-day for volume photographers, what tools they need to be more efficient. and just what drives sales in an online space in general, and then especially when it comes to volume. So that is how our product has, grown to be better and better. That is why so many studios use us, because, we take feedback and we try to make things happen that make y'all's lives easier and help you make more money. Today, we're going to be talking about one of those features in specific, AdvancePay. If y'all need a, more of a big picture on all the features that we have, we do have getting started webinars. We have a ton of webinars that I've done, or, others that go over all of it. But today I'm going to be focusing a lot on AdvancePay, and then I'll also go over some other incentives and offers that you can use on PhotoDay. All right, so there are 3 things that are needed in order to be successful selling online. You can have 2 of these things, and if you don't have the third, then you might fall short in some ways. Starting with taking great images. Your customers are looking at their images before they make their final purchase, whether you sell AdvancePay or not. So you need to offer sellable images and unique images that people cannot resist buying. Everybody has a smartphone. Parents think that they can do great pictures on a smartphone, which is, not exactly true, but, you as a photographer know that. Parents don't. You need to offer images that are obviously set apart from something they could do with their phone, and they're set apart from, what people are used to getting for years and years and years with volume portraits, school portraits, or sports or dance or whatever. Your images need to stand out and be unique. Effective communication. So even if you have great images, even if you have offers and incentives, if you're not communicating information on how the shoot's going to go and how parents can find photos and buy, you're never going to sell those great images. So you have to create a strong communication strategy and stick to it and be very thorough. So I would say that starts before picture day. That's kind of how, AdvancePay helps in that way as well. And then, keeping the communication going all the way until pictures are ready, or until you expire your gallery or whatever, till they make their purchase. We're not going to talk in detail about creating a communication strategy today, but my next webinar is all about marketing and creating marketing strategies, and also using the tools that PhotoDay has to market your gallery. So that'll be a good second part to this one. Make sure you check it out. Register for that. I also have old ones if you're in a pinch, so check them out. But you need those 3 things. Very important. Okay, so here is some actual data that we pulled from our system that is comparing jobs where AdvancePay is not sold to jobs where AdvancePay is sold. So this is showing the average order value of each type of job. In the first example, you're going to see there was no offers given with either option. So in the first bar of the first graph, there are no offers given and no AdvancePay sold. With that one, you're seeing about a little over a $50 average order. If you're coming from paper forms, just so you know, your average order will shoot up immediately when you start selling with PhotoDay. So $50 isn't bad, but even with no offers, when AP was sold in the job, AdvancePay, that average order value shot up almost $10. So it's right in the data there. Second graph shows free shipping. So in the first example, it is a job with no AdvancePay, but they offered free shipping as an incentive once pictures were ready. And then on the second bar, it's showing a job with AdvancePay and they use free shipping. So it's interesting. It's the same incentive. It's just, adding AdvancePay in and getting people to commit before the fact to a dollar amount credit. And then third example is with a dollar amount off offer. So first example is with, second is, or without AdvancePay. Second example is with AdvancePay. And again, like probably $5 or more in average order. So I think what this data shows most of all is that, people are buying these credits beforehand. Say you offer AdvancePay 2 weeks before the shoot, and people start buying a $30 credit or whatever. And then you publish 1 week post picture day. That's 3 weeks total, in between. People might have more money to spend. It's like when you get a gift card and, you go and spend it, you get a gift card for your birthday and then you go to, I always think of like Ulta. That's where I want a gift card from. But you go and spend your gift card, but like it's like free money. I don't know. So you just use it and then you spend another you spend double. So it's money spent, money forgotten. People are much more willing to purchase more because they've already bought that credit. They've gotten paid since then. So I think that's a big thing with AdvancePay. All right. So what is AdvancePay? If you guys don't know, and I've talked a lot about it before I explain what it is, so sorry, but AdvancePay is PhotoDay's solution to prepay. So when you're selling online, your customers are placing their orders once they see the photos. So if you sell AdvancePay, it's going to allow you to get your customers committed to purchasing, by buying a dollar amount credit prior to your pictures being ready. So they can use that credit amount towards their order once pictures are ready. There's a lot of different ways to use it. I'm going to go through a couple of scenarios. I'm sure there are even more ways to use it, but I think I cover most of them. That's going to be a little later in this presentation. But yeah, that is what AdvancePay is. And yeah, like I mentioned before, if you are used to collecting money when you photograph each person, AdvancePay is just an alternative to that. So, all right. So the benefits of selling AdvancePay, number one, it qualifies your buyers. So it qualifies your potential customers as for sure buyers. So each AdvancePay sale is a guaranteed order, instead of just photographing all of them on speculation and then starting to make your photos or making your money once pictures are ready. You're going to start to see those sales come in beforehand, which is great. It qualifies your customers as buyers. Another thing, if you put your job into AdvancePay mode and you're directing your customers to the gallery, that's getting them engaged with where they're ultimately going to buy their pictures. So even if they don't actually purchase an AdvancePay, they're automatically made to create an account in PhotoDay, and they can opt into the text marketing and email marketing as well if you're using group or public galleries. And that locks them in for communication. So even if they don't buy, they're still going in, it's a call to action when they get that marketing. Instead of it just saying, hey, picture day's coming soon, see you then. It's saying picture day's coming soon. Come check out our options for AdvancePay. If you want to get free shipping, buy an AdvancePay credit, whatever, they'll go in, they'll look at it. You'll be able to show your pricing when the job's in AdvancePay mode. And that is just getting people acquainted with where the gallery is. I mentioned it opts people in. Getting opt-ins is the most important, goal when you're selling with PhotoDay. I cannot stress that enough. When I'm talking to people, I'm like, get opt-ins. Getting people signed up for the automatic notifications that send out with PhotoDay galleries, the automatic text notifications and email as well. That's the key. People go to picture day, they enjoy it, they're excited, but then they go on with their lives. If you get them opted in, they're going to get a text message later when pictures are ready. And everybody checks their texts. Everybody's tuned into their phone. So text marketing is extremely effective. I would recommend sending out AdvancePay. You could start selling AdvancePay as early as you want. I wouldn't go too early. I mean, you can maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks before the picture day. And then you can even sell it on the day of picture day. If you're seeing parents in person, you can sell it all the way until photos are ready. So I would say at least 2 weeks if you can. If you have less time, you can still sell AdvancePay. So now it does allow you to visualize what your sales are going to be in general. The people who are choosing to buy AdvancePay are a lot of times your best customers. Most of them are going to purchase over the credit amount, and those are your guaranteed customers. So when you sell AdvancePay, you're kind of able to get a gauge on how many people are like expressly interested and what your revenue is going to kind of look like. Now, I know a lot of people are used to collecting paid order forms. AdvancePay will help you, replace that money up front that you're used to getting for expenses to pay your employees, et cetera. If you sell AdvancePay, you're going to get some sales before pictures are ready. And again, it increases participation, like I said, with, getting people engaged, getting them to go into the gallery. But it also just allows people to make a commitment to purchasing. And, if they've already put money into it, they are going to go in and buy. Of course, that is basically a sale already made. We reviewed the results of selling AdvancePay versus not selling AdvancePay and how it relates to the average order value. But you're just going to make higher sales in general, a higher gross revenue. So, instead of shooting and then selling, you already have people committed and ready to buy. So that's gonna increase your sales for sure. Okay, so this is where I get into the different ways you can use AdvancePay. So number one, replacing prepay with AdvancePay. So this is with no incentive really, but AdvancePay is an alternative to using prepaid forms. You're still able to collect the purchases in advance, but your parents are no longer going to have to be, they're no longer going to have to send in a check. They're no longer going to have to make sure they send it before picture day or, and they're also not going to be locked into a specific package or product that they chose before they ever saw the pictures. So if they are already used to having to pay before picture day or by picture day, this is going to be a really easy transition. If you just tell them, hey, now you just go online and purchase a credit. And then they get more of a benefit because they're actually able to view the images they got and place their order and choose all the little items they want. And then their credit purchase goes towards their final order. So, okay, now this is a cool one. Not everybody may have thought of, or maybe you're doing this already, but you can use AdvancePay kind of as a session deposit. So if you are going out and photographing a single team and you want to make sure everybody is buying before you actually go and photograph everybody, or if you're doing a more complicated shoot, like, dance with multiple costumes, or like a senior session where you're going to multiple different settings, you can require that the person or each person purchases a credit amount in order to be photographed. I really like this option. You're able to guarantee your revenue. You're able to guarantee those sales per person before you take the time to photograph and then edit a large number of shots or go out and, take pictures of one travel team, Now you'll have to explain this in your marketing. So when you send out, your beforehand marketing, you'll have to write it in the flyer or whatever you send out, the information you send to the organization. You're going to have to explain that. We don't quite have that built in to PhotoDay, but it's very easy for you to send that information out. That way everybody knows what they have to do before you get there for pictures. A lot of people use different credit amounts for instance, with dance, different amounts of costumes. Like if they just want one, they're just in one class, they can buy the $30 AdvancePay credit. If they have 2 or 3 costumes, they could buy $60, etc. So you would need to explain that in the marketing as well, but you're also able to put it in the description of the credit amounts, which I'll show you guys. I'm going to actually demo setting up AdvancePay in a job in a second here. So I will show you guys that. You do want to get your strategy set in place though. Of course, like if you are keeping track of who's bought a credit at the shoot and you want to make sure people aren't like buying a credit when it's too late, you can always set your job back to draft from AdvancePay mode. So that way, people, a parent's not like at work and their kid is at the dance photo shoot with their aunt, and then like the parent purchased a credit, but you don't know, you can set your job back to draft and kind of set like a deadline if you want. But you just need to keep track of who purchased the credit on the day of the shoot. Now, if you guys are using private galleries and you're using the capture app on the day of the shoot to check everybody in, it's really cool because you're actually able to see next to each subject if they purchased a credit and what amount they purchased. So if you're doing group or public galleries, you'll have to, have some sort of list that you reference as you're going along. People are able to enter their athlete's name when a credit is bought. So you can use that for group and public galleries, but with private galleries, you can just see it in the capture app and handle all of it at once. So that is super cool. But yeah, it is great for dance schools. Very awesome. I recommend this to a lot of people. A lot of times you're doing a ton of retouching, a ton of photos, a ton of editing, and you got to make sure you are making the sale for, each of those subjects. It's a big deal. Now, Another option, fundraising. So if you are contracted to give the organization a piece of your sales, you can actually use AdvancePay as the amount that you're going to give back based off of. And, you can give them money per credit that is sold. Like, for instance, I'll give $2 per credit sold, or you could do a percentage of the AdvancePay sales. I think, number one, this is a great way to get the organization committed to helping you get the word out about AdvancePay and helping you send out that marketing in advance, send out those reminders. I also, you can do it off your total sales, which I know a lot of people do, but at least with AdvancePay, like, there is a clean end date to when AdvancePay is, you can no longer sell AdvancePay. So automatically, when you switch your job from AdvancePay to publish, nobody else can buy a credit. If you switch it to draft sooner, nobody else can buy a credit if you turn off AdvancePay mode. But then you have that set amount, and you're not having to figure out what amount you're going to give the percentage off of, having to choose a time frame and all that. And then it encourages the league or the organization to be your partner and help you sell AdvancePay. So yeah. And then you can also communicate this to the end customer. So, let everybody know that if they order an AdvancePay credit, they are, giving back to their school or their organization. That's just another way to incentivize people to purchase a credit. So. Okay, and then speculation. So with this option, you're going to photograph everybody, but you'll provide an incentive for those who do choose to purchase an AdvancePay credit. This is probably the most common way that people use AdvancePay because it's kind of how AdvancePay is built in PhotoDay. I'm going to show you guys how to set that up in a bit, but this is going to help you get a portion of your sales up front while not limiting you to only photographing, those who bought in advance. Also, if you are photographing 500, 1,000 kids, it might be a little tougher to keep track of who all bought a credit. So, you can offer AdvancePay, give an incentive that encourages people to buy it. And then, a portion of your customers will, but, you can make even more sales after that. So, we're going to get into the types of incentives that you can offer next. But I just want to say that AdvancePay is, I feel like it's easiest when you give some sort of incentive to help it make sense to your customers or help encourage them. The incentive could be that they only get photographed if they buy a credit, but it can also be an offer incentive like I'm explaining here. So the types of offers you can give with AdvancePay. So I'm going to show you, but you can attach an AdvancePay offer in the AdvancePay settings, and that's going to determine what everybody who purchases a credit gets. Once the credit applies to their order, they're automatically going to get the offer to apply as well if it's in the settings. So you can only give one discount amount. Keep that in mind. So even if you offer 4 different credit amounts, you're only able to give one AdvancePay offer. So some studios just give one credit amount, for instance, $35 as the credit amount, and then they make the offer correspond with the amount. So they get free shipping off $35 if they buy the $35 credit. So I'll show you guys a little bit more about that, but you can either give free shipping or you can give a percentage or dollar amount off offer. Those are the 3 types of offers you can create within PhotoDay. A lot of people use free shipping. I would say that's most popular. Number one, if you are switching to online from paper and people aren't used to covering shipping, they can buy in advance to avoid that. And you can let them know that in your marketing that you send out beforehand. It's a good way to avoid shipping. But I would say free shipping is just appealing in general. When you're shopping online, I don't know about you guys, but when I see free shipping, when I'm shopping online, I will most likely try to hit that dollar amount, even if it's over what I was going to order, just because for some reason paying shipping irks me, even though that's the world we live in now. But yeah, it's a popular incentive. It makes sense to a lot of people when they're ordering online. A lot of people want that. So I would say that makes it very popular for AdvancePay. So dollar amount or percentage off. So you could do a dollar amount, like, get $5 off or get $10 off or whatever. Or you could do a percentage off. I would say it's kind of tough to track percentages off because it's a scale. The more they spend, that number that's coming off of each order is always going to vary. And of course, you might want to keep track of how much you are going to be covering for these offers per AdvancePay sold. So you're not really able to do that with percentage off, but it is a really good way to get people to spend more, because the more they spend, the more they save. So, could be good. And then you can also tie free shipping to a dollar amount or a percentage off offer if you want to, and give them like a bundle offer. That is up to you. Yes, Angelo, that is a great way to limit what you're giving and motivate the organization to get the word out if you tie AdvancePay sales to your fundraiser, to your commission you're giving back. So very good tip. I feel like that one is like one of the ones that people don't think of as often. I love it. People struggle with, giving percentages back, and that makes it beneficial for you. Okay, guys, I'm going to share my screen and we're going to jump into a demo where I just show y'all how to set up AdvancePay and then how it's going to look to your customers. I'm sharing my screen now. Hopefully it looks all right. Let me see if I can't make it bigger. I keep my text really small because I like to see like everything. And then when I share my screen, people are like, I'm like, sorry. So hopefully you guys can see okay. I have already set up a job. I won't bore you guys with those parts, but we're going to set up AdvancePay for Stevie Elementary Spring Portraits. I already did the first step, which is setting up the gallery access. So to set up AdvancePay, it starts with going to the Set Up Storefront section. Okay, so first things first, create a credit sheet. So I have a couple in here. I'm going to show you guys how to create a credit sheet. And this is going to be where you determine what amounts your customer can choose from. So this is kind of like price sheets within PhotoDay. You can create one AdvancePay credit sheet and use it for every job you do. Or, like in my account, you'll see here, I have different credit sheets just depending on my use case. So yeah, let's create one. I'm in the store tab under AdvancePay, by the way, but I clicked this link and it redirected me to there. So this is where you create all your AdvancePay credit sheets. I'm going to click up top here. Let's do Spring Elementary School Portrait. Now this name here it's just for your reference. It's not going to be seen by the customer. So this is a good way for you to like remember which, what you use each credit sheet for. So yeah. All right. So once you get in here, it's going to show you 4 little boxes. These are the 4 potential amounts you can put in. So start with the first one. I'll do a $35 credit. You'll notice here you can add a description. So you can put, like I said, if you're requiring the AdvancePay credits, you can put what each credit is for if you're doing different tiers, or you could just reiterate. This will show at checkout, and I'll show you guys where that lives. But then you can do up to 4 amounts. They have to be increments of 5. I'm not sure if there's a limit to how big they can be. So sell all the, let's see. Let me see. I'm going to test it. Oh, you can't do 1,000. Can you do 900? No. 500. So sell all the $500 credits you guys want, please. But yeah, so I'll do, oh no, I already did 50. Let's do 75 and 90. All right. So I did 4 credit amounts. Like I said, you can just do one. If you are doing, if you are doing the speculation method and you're just making AdvancePay optional, and some people will purchase it, some won't, and you're giving an AdvancePay offer with that. Like I like the idea of just offering one. It just makes sense. But everybody's different, and it's good to give people the option to buy more. So I am not opposed to that either. But okay, this is my credit sheet created. Bam. Now I'll go back into the job. I'm in the AdvancePay settings. And if you click this little refresh button, if you just made a new one, it will show up. Now, AdvancePay offer. So I'm going to create a new offer. This brings me to the store tab under offers. I'm going to do free shipping. So we'll jump in here. And then I'm going to create a shipping offer. So let's do spring portraits AP offer. Again, this name cannot be seen by your customers, only by you. Now, as far as the offer code goes, you can just generate a random one if you want. People aren't really going to have to type this one in because it is going to automatically apply to their order if they have AdvancePay in their customer account. And just so you guys know, AdvancePay credits are stored in the customer account. They have to create a login the first time they visit PhotoDay, and then all the AdvancePay credits they buy will be stored under their phone number or email. If they're having trouble applying their credit, it might be because they're like, their husband bought the credit with his phone number and then they're using the wife's phone number to log in. So that's important to note. But when they're logged in with the number that they purchased the credit with, it's going to automatically apply. And whatever offer is set in the settings is going to automatically apply. Now, minimum order dollar amount. This is the amount they have to spend in order for the offer to apply to the order. This is the subtotal has to be this number, not the grand total. So I'll do 35 here. That's the lowest credit amount. As far as expiration date goes, I wouldn't expire AdvancePay credit offers. Once you hit publish and the job goes away from AdvancePay mode, people aren't going to be able to buy an AdvancePay credit anymore. Therefore, they're not going to be able to get the offer anymore. So, of course, you can expire it after a certain amount of time if you want. But, even if they order 32 days after the gallery is published, I would still honor, the AdvancePay offer because they did purchase AdvancePay. And then max redemptions, just so you guys know, that means if you put 5 here, the first 5 customers can get the offer, etc. It's not the amount of times they can use it total or per customer, it's total. So that's not really, you could use it with AdvancePay if you want. I'm not sure how it communicates, but all right. Created my offer, going back in, and I could also talk all day about setting up AdvancePay. So I'm going to try to make it quick. Oh, I'm at 30 minutes. I'm all right. Sometimes I just ramble, but okay. Refreshed, spring portraits, AdvancePay offers. So now those are both attached. So they have those different credit amounts to choose from, and they get free shipping on orders of $35 or more if they buy the credit. 2 other things here. So number 1, customer data. This requires the customer to add their name when they buy a credit, add the subject's name. I would say, why not turn this on? This will help you keep track of who's bought a credit, whether that's important to you or not. I think it's helpful. And then preview storefront. So you have to add your pricing to the job in order to turn this on, but this is going to allow your customers to see your pricing when they go in and decide if they want to buy AdvancePay or not. So I'm going to jump over to this side and attach a price sheet. If you guys need pricing, how-to on pricing, some of my other webinars contain those, but I won't jump into that today because that's another thing I can talk for hours about. Okay. So I got a price sheet on here. Now I can turn this on and then make sure you hit save. We just added something where if you go away from a page without hitting save, it actually tells you that you didn't save your changes. That's really cool. At one point it didn't. Just saying, thanks for adding. But yeah, okay. So you can set this up a month in advance, 2 weeks in advance. If you're doing private galleries, you do have to have your data in ultimately before you can send out AdvancePay. But once you get this set up, you're ahead of picture day. Even if it's 2 days in advance, you can still sell AdvancePay, but you want to go up here in the top right-hand corner and hit set job to AdvancePay. This is just telling you that anybody who is already subscribed is going to get a notification, and then bam. All right. So I'm going to show you guys how AdvancePay will look to the customer. I am using a public gallery today, so I have the direct link from the settings already pulled up. Okay. What I skipped because I'm already logged in, so sorry, is that they have to create their customer account. Once they enter their phone number or their email, they have to enter a verification code, and then they'll create their account and they come into this page. And this is where it gets them to subscribe to the text. So this is where the opting in happens. Love this part. This is going to catch them if they didn't text a code to 90738. They can opt in when they visit the direct link. So if you've sent out a flyer or any marketing with the link, they're going to be funneled in to opt in here as well. I'm not going to opt in because I get so many texts from random galleries that I leave open. But Okay, so when the job's in AdvancePay mode, it's going to explain to them get free shipping, or it's going to explain the offer here as well as up here. And then it's going to just tell them they can purchase a credit now that will apply to their order once the pictures are ready. And then they can go in and select the credit amount. And then if you add a description, that's going to display here. So I didn't add a description for all of them, but you see how that works. Now, they just enter a subject name that's required in order for them to move on. And then they can hit checkout. They can buy multiple if they have multiple kids, if they want to. And if you just offer one credit amount and people want to buy more, they can always just buy multiple credits. So that's good. And now taking a step back, this is where they can preview your storefront. So if you turn that on and you have your pricing attached, they're going to be able to go in and see how they will be using their credit once pictures are ready. This can be helpful as well to make it make sense to people. Like, if you know that your customers are used to spending around $30 for the basic package, make your AdvancePay credit amount $30. And then when they go in here, they'll see, well, I'll probably spend $30 anyway. So let me go ahead and buy it. So. And yeah, Al, the save reminder is so amazing because every time I'm like walking through stuff with people who are getting started, I'm like, don't forget to save. If you're wondering why what you just did is no longer there, it's because you didn't save. So yeah, that is big. That is big. Okay, so that's about it. Then they just go in and finalize their purchase, enter their card number, and then they're ready to go. That balance is in their account. All right, turning my screen share off, guys, and let me see. Back to my slideshow. All right. So how payouts work. This is important to note when you are getting started with AdvancePay because it can be a little puzzling if you don't know it, but it makes total sense. So how do you get paid out when an AdvancePay credit is purchased prior to pictures being ready? Half of the credit amount is paid out at the time the credit is purchased. So if you sell a $40 credit, half of the payout from that credit is going to go to you immediately. The other half of the credit is going to be held until your customer places an order. That is because we don't hold any payment information from you, the studio. So there has to be money held left over in order to cover the lab costs, which is paid at the time of each order, and to pay the Stripe fee and the PhotoDay fee. So half is paid out to you immediately. Other half is paid out when the order is placed. Credits are refundable. So if you guys, that's really up to you and your business model, if you want to refund credits or not, but you are able to. And if they're not used by the customer, they expire after 14 months. And it does let them know that when they are purchasing. So they are aware. They have 14 months to use it. Okay, well, there are other ways to incentivize customers to place their order with PhotoDay. So I'm going to go over a few more of those tools. Gallery promos and custom promos are what we're going to be focusing on. So I didn't quite explain this, but when you create offers and you just create an offer and don't attach it anywhere, it is global. So you can give it to one coach and they can use it, type the offer code in, and so you can use offers that way, but you can also attach offers in different ways and, make the system display them or share them in certain cases. So with AdvancePay, if you attach an offer to AdvancePay, then it's going to be used as an AdvancePay offer. And with gallery promos, there's a setting inside your job where if you attach an offer as a gallery promotion, it's going to display as a banner, display as a pop-up in the gallery. And it's also going to be included in all the marketing that is sent out. So that is gallery promotions. If you want to give a gallery-wide offer, you can attach an offer in the settings of the job. I would say if you guys, it's really important to give a limited time offer of some sort. So if you want to give a first week of publishing offer or first 48-hour offer, you can use the gallery promotions in that way. If people spend $50, they get $5 off in the first 2 days or whatever. That's going to encourage your customers to go ahead and go in and place their order early. or promote them to order more if you're using like a spend-based incentive. But one thing I do want to mention here is, number one, you have to get your strategy straight. So if you're doing AdvancePay and you're giving an AdvancePay offer, that's great. Then you also want to give other offers or want to give a limited time offer, a gallery promotion. Number one, you want to make sure that the AdvancePay offer is the best offer you're giving. Like, you want to give the best reward to the customer that did the thing that you want the most. So of course, overall, you want them to buy a credit. So the biggest offer needs to be given to those who buy credits. And then number two, if they didn't buy a credit, that's cool. But, a gallery promotion, if you choose to do both, make sure the AdvancePay offer is greater. Number two, they can only use one offer at a time on an order. That's pretty standard with online carts. So if you're doing an AdvancePay offer and then you also do a gallery promotion, you could run into people being like, oh, I can't apply both. No, they cannot apply both. So keep that in mind. They can only apply one or the other. In general, though, going back to the strategy thing, I wouldn't try to do too many offers. There are other things you can do that are not like actual dollar amount or, offers with PhotoDay. I'll kind of get into some of them when we talk about custom promos, but just get your strategy figured out. Don't let things overlap. Sometimes people want to give flash sales, far in the future, which is totally cool. And I am so for it, but just make sure that, you're not giving a greater offer later. And then those who bought early and, had the behavior of the consumer that you want everybody to have, get punished for already ordering. I don't know how to explain it, but yeah, that's what I'm getting at. So types of offers, there are speed-based incentives and spend-based incentives. Once I learned about this, I think about it every time. Like in this webinar, I had to keep from saying, oh, and that's a speed-based incentive. But so speed-based incentives, those encourage your customers to purchase quick. So gives them a limited time to order and get a special deal. Some examples would be an offer expiration, like save 10% off. If you order by blank. And what I didn't mention about gallery promos is if you attach a gallery promo, it will also be shared in the marketing that goes out for that gallery. So you set an expiration date, and then on each text or email that goes out, it's going to tell them the expiration date. So that actually helps too with, creating a sense of urgency. But sorry. Another speed-based incentive is expiring your galleries. If you guys don't expire your galleries or not in the habit of that, I would recommend doing it. It just gets in those last-minute sales and kind of teaches your customers that, you photograph season over season or year after year, the same organization, and you got to close one out before you open the next. And they need to go ahead and get their orders in. Of course, when you're selling online, you can leave your pictures up forever. And even if you expire, you can still reopen. And then if people are like, oh no, I didn't order, you could be like, I'll reopen it for you. But you can really just reopen it. Some people will reopen it and add more expensive pricing to their expired galleries. But it's good to get in the habit of doing that. I would say, like, for instance, with fall jobs, if you expire all of your fall jobs, I would say after the holidays, like maybe like early January 2nd week, maybe have a set expiration date for all of them and kind of stick to that season after season where you give them X amount of time and then expire. They'll get used to that and they'll learn. They just need to place their order. So yeah, gallery expiration, that's a speed-based incentive. Friendly competition. So that max redemptions, setting that's in the offers settings, you can set, hey, the first 20 customers get $10 off, etc. That is a way to, it creates a little race, a little friendly competition. So that is, that's cool. Our system communicates that if you set a max redemptions. And then early bird motivation. So AdvancePay is an example of a speed-based incentive. Now, spend-based incentives. So these are going to encourage your customers to buy more in order to save. So setting a minimum purchase amount on the offer is going to encourage them, like, for instance, save $10. If you spend $100, if they're spending $80, they're like, might as well spend $100. Then I just spend 90. That's just $10 more. Girl math, parent math, online shopper math. If you want to make those big orders, or if you want to, if people have multiple kids and you want to give them savings so that they purchase, a larger amount per kid still, that's a good way to do that. Also, multiple poses. So multiple poses is a spend-based incentive in a way, because you're offering a variety of images, smiles, game faces, buddy shots with coaches or with siblings, different costumes. That's going to encourage people to spend more. They can't leave, a smile picture on the table, even though they love the game face photo. So the more options you give them, the more your potential for a higher order, within reason. Don't hurt yourself, but check out the comments if you want to know why you should expire galleries. I know it can be tough to do, but people see over, no matter what flash sale or whatever people send out, holiday special, expiring your galleries is always going to get you, that big surge of orders over everything else. So, and I hear that from pretty much everybody. So it's a really, really good way to round your sales out each season. All right, custom promos. So text marketing is one of our big features that I love so much and I think is very effective. So your customers get text if they opt into the galleries. Automatically, they get an automatic series of texts over 30 days. If you want to add other texts to that series that are apart from just like, hey, buy your pictures, we have some options where you can do that with custom promos. So I'll go over all the types. Number one, fundraiser series. So this goes back to if you're giving a commission back to the organization, you can send out a fundraiser text that lets people know that they have until X date to purchase and it be included in the amount that goes back to the league. So again, use that to your benefit. We have a custom promo for that. Best price series. So this is another speed-based incentive. This is going to let your customers know that prices are going up after a certain time. So we have one that's like, hey, there's 1 week left. And then today is the last day. But essentially you'll want to switch the price sheet after you send that out to a more limited or a more expensive price sheet. This is a great way, like I was saying with, adding too many offers. Oh my goodness, thanks iOS for the thumbs up. But if you're trying not to stack too many offers, but you still want to give a few different incentives, you can use best price series to get people to go ahead and place their orders and hurry up. So without giving offers, another benefit is that you're not giving a dollar amount off. You're not taking away from your bottom line with best price series. So additional photos added. So if you are, if you're uploading retake pictures, or, if you did a team late after you did a whole league, or, if you added the banner pictures to the gallery after you've already, sold the banners, you can send out a text to the gallery that says that more photos have been added. So that can be useful in a lot of different ways. You can also do a flash sale text. So you can attach an offer to this text and it will explain the offer description in the text and send that out. This can be used for like holidays as well. So yeah. Now 48-hour social sharing download. So this is something that a lot of our studios use. And it's another one of those incentives, speed-based incentive, mind you, that you can do that is not like a dollar amount off offer. It doesn't take away from your bottom line. But I'm going to try to explain it. If you need help after I explain this, sometimes when I explain something in words, I'm like, all right, if you need that written down, sorry. But you can add a social sharing download to each package in your price sheet. You'll want to make a duplicate of your original price sheet and add a social sharing download to each package. And then you can request to have this 48-hour text sent out to your gallery that lets them know if they buy a package in the next 48 hours, they'll get a complimentary social sharing download. So again, social sharing download doesn't cost you anything extra. It also just gives your customers something that they can, if they ordered a package with prints, if they get that social sharing download, that's just another fun little thing they can get immediately while they're waiting for their order to ship. It's something they can share on social media and get other parents that are part of the league excited, free marketing. And, it doesn't cost you anything. So you're not giving like $10 off or whatever. But at the end of the 48 hours, you want to change your price sheet back. So right now it's partially manual. Maybe one day, but yeah. I know, Victoria, I know a lot of people do the 48-hour social sharing. And I feel like if you do it season over season or time after time, people start to get excited about that. That's like something that they wait for, and they purchase right away because they know they're going to get their social sharing download. Then they can set it as their phone background or send it to, family, to share digitally. So yeah. Everybody's on their phone. Okay, so here's a screenshot of where you can go to set up custom promos. It's going to be under the store tab, under promos. And then in that drop down up at the top, you choose which one you want to send of the ones I just listed. And then you choose who you want it to send to. So you can do all the people in the job, or you could do just those who haven't ordered. And then you choose which jobs you want to send it to. Okay. Well, I thought there was another custom promo slide, but yeah, if you guys don't use custom promos, first make sure that you get your strategy in place. Don't overlap all these crazy things, but definitely utilize these to further incentivize your customers to purchase. Okay. I think I got some questions, so let me jump to those. Dana, I'll do yours first since I see it. When do you typically do the 48-hour promo, which you guys can chime in the chat if you want. That might be better answered by studios, but a lot of people do it right when they publish or shortly after. The deal with custom promos is that you cannot send a text before the gallery is published. So it can be kind of tough to time. You'll have to publish a job and then request it for the next day. So yeah, hopefully over time, we're going to add to our product and have a more automatic way that can go out, in tandem with the published text. If you want it to go out with a published text, hit us up in the bubble. If you've made it all the way to the end and you don't do that already, if you want to, thanks for staying. That's your prize, that you can hit us up in the bubble and we'll send it out the time you publish. But anyways, okay. So is AdvancePay available across multiple galleries, or are they specific to the gallery that's offering AdvancePay? That's a great question. So AdvancePay credits, the balance can be used in any job that's in your studio account. So it's unique. They're only able to be used with the job that your studio creates, but the balance will show in other jobs. So if they purchase one on accident in their travel job, but it's actually for fall, they can use that balance there. So it is universal across your studio account. The AdvancePay offer is not. So, it has to be an offer that's attached in that specific job. How do you set a deadline for AdvancePay? So yeah, number one, it would start with communicating. So I think like when you're selling AdvancePay and you're doing like the speculation where you photograph everybody and some people buy AdvancePay, I don't really know if there's a reason to set a deadline, because I've heard from a lot of studios that you can, you sell most of your credits on or at picture day or after, once people are excited and they are like in tune and like actually paying attention. So I do think there's a benefit to leaving it open until pictures are ready. Now, in general, when your job is set to AdvancePay mode, people have the option to buy credits until you switch your gallery status. So if you switch it to published when pictures are ready, they can't buy AdvancePay anymore. If you switch it to draft because you want to cut it off early for whatever reason, then they can't buy AdvancePay anymore. So that's how you literally set the deadline or enforce the deadline, so to speak, in PhotoDay. But that would also, you would also need to communicate it to your customers. So I would send out if you want to give a deadline, like if you're requiring AdvancePay credit purchases, I would just include that in all your communication. Like, hey, you have to buy an AdvancePay credit by May 15th or else you won't be photographed or whatever. So hopefully that helps. So opting in for private galleries. So with private galleries, each individual subject has their own access code. You can get opt-ins with private galleries that, so they'll get text reminders. And just like with group and public galleries, you want to try to get those opt-ins, but it's a little different since each person has their own individual code. So number one, we have email marketing. If you get emails and you send out the automatic emails with PhotoDay, everybody will get their individual code. And then on the marketing email, there's going to be a link to the gallery. They can click that, enter their phone number, bam, they're opted in. Or they can choose to text the code to 90738. They get that random letters and numbers code. They can opt in that way as well. But you can capture opt-ins that way by sending the marketing emails. You can also use gallery lookup. I talk about that in some of my other webinars. But you can actually create a general link where people can go and search for their private gallery. And if you do that, they can get opted in that way as well. So you still want to get those opt-ins. It's still good to market beforehand, especially with AdvancePay. But if they either go in the email or they use gallery lookup, or if you get the codes out some other way, like if you print something specific for each person, they can opt in that way as well. And then they'll get text marketing instead of just email. Okay, so for private galleries, you do need to upload a roster of each person you're going to be photographing. Then you'll use the Capture app to check each person in. Uploading the roster generates, it makes a gallery for each person. And then when you use the Capture app, you need to check everybody in, and that's going to assign that person's face to their name. And that's how private galleries works. There is a webinar on private galleries. Check that out. I did one not too long ago, and it was really good. So if you need more information on the private gallery workflow, or if you need more information on gallery lookup, I talked about that there as well. So yes. Okay. Do you find that parents understand subject is their student athlete, not the parent? I mean, I will say, I think things can never be too clear. So I will, I think that that does happen. People enter really strange things or like their team name from time to time. And that's a huge piece of feedback that we get in the bubble. So hopefully eventually we'll add a little bit more flexibility on like if you can have more than one blank, to collect their team name and their name, or if you can kind of customize that. But yeah, if you guys have a need for that, head over to our support chat and just send them a message. It's like, I would love to customize what people enter when they buy an AdvancePay credit as far as their subject information. And then we can submit that to our product team. And the more votes we have, the higher up it goes. But I think that'll happen. Okay. Does the minimum order amount apply to everyone or just those buying AdvancePay credit? So the minimum order amount that I set on the AdvancePay offer is only going to apply. It's only going to be relevant to those who bought the credit and are using the offer. So it's really just an offer setting. And it just means that they can only apply the offer if they've hit that minimum order amount. There's no way to set a minimum order amount with like just in general. You can kind of do that in your pricing. Just make sure you're not offering like small items at small prices, set your a la carte items at a kind of minimum price and then create packages with great savings. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Does the fundraiser series promo work for the AdvancePay fundraiser? To be honest, I don't think so, because the job has to be published in order for it to go out. So I think that might've been on the slide. So no, if you want to talk about how to market that, just hit us up in the bubble and we'll help you out. But yeah, right now, custom promos can only go out to published jobs. So sorry about that. Social sharing download. So yes, the social sharing download is your image just compressed down to 900 pixels wide by the proportionate height. It lets them know that it's not good for printing. It does not include a print release. And it's just good for sharing over the phone. I mean, if they try, it's pretty low res. You upload your images at the full resolution that's going to go to the lab to print, or it's going to go as a high res, and then we resize it to 900 pixels wide for the social sharing automatically when it's sent. Okay, and then if a free shipping code is offered for sports, would a parent be able to use the same code and get free shipping for a school photo gallery? So we don't quite have a limitation for offers in existence yet. So technically, yes, if they grab the code, they can enter it in another job. I will say we are currently, change will come soon on that. So stay tuned. But as far as AdvancePay goes, I think it's good because they don't really have to interact with the code. A lot of people don't really even notice that there is an offer code. I would say keep it as the random letters and numbers, and hopefully that keeps it to a minimum until we can fix it a little more. But yeah. All right, guys. I hope that was all the questions. Just so you guys know, this slide just shows you what the cost of PhotoDay is. We only get paid when you get paid. So we are committed to making sure you're successful. So there's all the costs, but included in those costs are the tools and the resources and the marketing and, even the help from our support department. If you guys have not chatted with our bubble and you have questions, you can find it in the bottom right-hand corner of your studio account. It's a little orange bubble, and we are real people, and we are not bots, and we have a super fast response time, and all of our support staff is super knowledgeable in the industry one way or another through experience in the past or at PhotoDay. We have tons of great info to share, because we talk to people every day. We're not just like a, article sending type of group. We will actually help you out with the issue that you're having. And then also, if you guys have not scheduled an onboarding and you're a brand new account, definitely schedule one of those. It would either be me or one of the other studio success managers here. And we'll walk you through everything. Even if you feel like you got it, we can hear your use case, your workflow, your first job's needs, and we can help recommend the workflow that'll be best. And we can answer any questions. And if you're an existing studio and you want to talk to a studio success manager, you can do that as well. We'll help you with anything you need. All right, guys, hour and 2 minutes, I swear. Oh, wait, I have one more question. I'll answer it. Okay, how does AdvancePay work with private galleries? So yeah, number one, set up the job, make it a private gallery. Number two, the second step is setting up storefront. So you go in, set your AdvancePay settings up, set your price sheet settings up. You can kind of skip over it. Like if you're not ready to put your pricing in yet, you can kind of skip over it and get to the next step. But after you set up your storefront settings, you jump to uploading your roster. So you have to upload your roster before you can send AdvancePay out for private jobs, because everybody needs their own private gallery. That's where they're going to go to buy the AdvancePay credit. So you're correct. Number one, set up the private job. Number two, set up AdvancePay. Number three, upload your roster. And then you can set the job to AdvancePay mode. And you can actually turn on an automatic marketing series that goes out by email that will just shoot out information about AdvancePay for you without you even having to do anything. So yeah, those are the steps. If you need more help, let us know. We are here to help. And yeah, thank you guys for sticking on with me. I could talk about AdvancePay all day. Check out my next webinar in 2 weeks, and I will see you guys then. Bye-bye.